Um, so this is the first official podcast episode that we're doing. We can just get started into it. Welcome to the first podcast episode. I'm Trisha.
I'm Mahea.
Yeah, and so this is like where we're gonna actually start having conversations and stuff. Last week was kind of just like an intro to everything. Yeah, like I was looking back on the video, last week's video, like before putting on YouTube, and like I realized like my hair was such a mess. I was like, oh no, but I didn't want to we couldn't refilm it because we were already like way done with it. I was like, oh no, now I gotta just post it up anyways. But I was like looking at my hair and it's like, oh no. Usually I pay attention to like when I'm in Zoom calls, I'll be looking at myself.
Me too.
Well,
you just get so caught up in the conversation or what's happening, you kind of forget how you look, and then you look back. It's like,
yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the camera last week, so I was like, oh no. But I think it was like with the Sunday message that we heard that week was just all about like taking action quickly and like knowing myself. I know that if I the thing on my mind was doing the podcast, and I knew that if I didn't do it at that time, I knew I probably wasn't going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, even though it's, I look messy, we still got it done.
Yep. Yeah, I remember I mentioned this to Trisha too when we heard that message about how I have that personality too. If I were to not do something at that moment, then I most likely will put it off or either procrastinate or just never gets done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that message really helped a lot. Just do it with no hesitation.
Yeah, even if it talks about how even if the circumstances aren't perfect, you should still do it, because if you're just gonna keep waiting for the circumstances to get better, then it might never come, like the opportunity. And I was like, oh yeah, that's so true. I tend to procrastinate everything too.
Yes, I know that's the thing too with this upcoming semester that I'm kind of afraid of. I really don't know how it's gonna be. It sounds like, I don't know, it's gonna be hybrid classes where they want us to come to campus, not every day, but maybe once a week, and then online.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, I just hope I can keep up with mostly online classes, because I know I struggled with that. But yeah, just like the message, just do it quickly and then prepare in advance too, I think is really important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think this week's message was about how God takes action in advance. And I think I was thinking about maybe last week's episode was preparation for this week's. So it's he told us that or inspired us to do it in advance, so that now we're doing it, it's already on the roll. So it's
tied in with each other.
Really nice. Yeah, I was like, wow. But yeah, I was looking at the last week's video, and everything was my hair was all over the place, and I was like, oh no. But yeah, we're just I just wanted to do it because he also said about how important it is to get started on things.
Mm-hmm.
How important the start is. And I was just telling Mahea about this right before this. I'm kind of restructuring the Friday videos. I mentioned in the previous episode that I'll be doing a Friday video of different content, making art projects or DIY stuff or home decor stuff. And I'm kind of reevaluating that. And I think it's partially because I don't know, when it comes to YouTube, I follow a lot, I watch a lot of videos of people who are doing YouTube as a career and doing this as work, and they post something and they get thousands of views, millions of views, and I feel partially in some way I'm comparing my stuff to that, and I'm I don't see the same numbers. Like my videos are like 5 views right now, 10 views, and so I'm like, I get easily discouraged, and I'm like, oh no, it's not. Maybe this isn't like the right thing to do. Maybe I don't have the personality for this.
Mm.
But I think, yeah, it's like not good to like compare too much. I'm realizing that more and more. Like I tend to do that, and I tend to get discouraged like fast when it comes to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard sometimes to get to find the desire to do it again. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, just like what you said. Like I have like no experience with uploading any kind of videos, YouTube or like vlogging, but yeah, like what you said, I think it's best just to not compare yourself with other big YouTubers. But I feel like when people they record themselves doing something they genuinely enjoy and are happy doing, and then maybe through that, like people also with the same hobby or interest will see and they're like, oh, like she looks like she's having fun. I want to keep watching her vlogs. But yeah, I feel like too, if I were to do or get into something like that, it'd be kind of hard to find that motivation to keep making videos or to keep like thinking of what ideas to do. Yeah,
Yeah, I know
consistency,
it's funny.
what it is.
Yeah. No, it's funny because then like technically I have like off and on experience with YouTube.
Mm.
Technically, when YouTube first came out as a thing back in like I looked it up, it like started in 2005.
Mm.
And like technically when it first came out and it was like a new thing, I remember I was like in middle school and like me and my friends would like try to make YouTube videos and try to post like just us playing as kids. And like it was like back when the idea of being YouTube famous was rare. Like only a couple people were getting millions of views, and it wasn't like a big industry yet.
Yeah.
Um, back when it was like Ryan Higa was like the got the first like million views. We were just making videos just for the fun of it. But now it's like it's so crazy. Like now it's like a whole like career path and industry, and
Yeah.
people are actually getting paid now, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
it's totally different from how it used to be back then. Yeah, me too. When I was like in even elementary and middle school, I would also make like just random videos with my friends. It's not like even it's because we uploaded it because we wanted other people to see it, but just cause like, oh, let's record
yeah,
something after school and yeah. But yeah,
I know.
now everyone's doing it because they're getting like paid to do it or like being sponsored or yeah,
Yeah,
just for that money or because it's their career. Yeah.
yeah. But it's interesting that they can make this into a career, and then like I mean, some of them,
Mhm.
some YouTubers look like they're having like they're really genuinely doing it because they are having fun,
Yeah.
and I kind of like vlogging, but it's also like there's more planning than I expected when it comes to filming any kind of video,
Yeah.
like making a schedule to film, what to film, when to film it, um, taking into consideration lighting, like
Yeah.
daylight, sunlight.
Yeah. I think that's the thing too. Like you can tell when someone's put in like a lot of preparation for a video or not. Like you could see if they really put some thought to it, if it's just like rush and then they're just kind of doing
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
and like people are like investing so much like camera work into it. Like you can tell the quality of a camera,
Hmm.
and like I'm using my phone right now. It's obvious on this Zoom call. I don't know, my laptop's computer is not that great.
Yeah. Yeah. And with the thing too, like with YouTubers, like they also hire people, like people to
Mhm.
edit their videos.
They got whole teams now.
Yeah, like their social media team, like wow, they have a whole like company going on.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think I'm just doing this for fun. This is just in no purpose for my career or anything. Like I'm figuring other things out for my career.
Mm.
This is just for fun. And like I mentioned in Mahea, I think I'm more excited about this podcast. So I think the more we do this and have like these conversations like this, I think um, this is what's gonna get me excited to do other things.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So what did you do today, Mahea?
Today, I just had like a few online meetings, and I think I mostly spent my time outside taking care of my
Oh,
plants.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Oh, yeah, yeah. You have all your succulents.
yeah. It
How's
was
those
funny
going?
because when my mom came home, she knows the back door to the backyard was open, so she knows usually I'm like back there if it is, and then she went back there and she hasn't been for a while, so but usually there's like tons of like lizards and geckos just like
Oh,
kind of everywhere hiding, and then I'm kind of like afraid, but then
yeah.
I've been trying to get used to them and
Oh,
not
really?
scared, but then I do still. But yeah, she was walking and then one like zoomed past her and then she flinched really hard and I started laughing, but yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I've
think I saw your Instagram of like the little geckos.
yeah, I'm like, I feel like someone's watching me, and then I look over and just there looking at me in between my pots. Like, yeah. How about you? Did you
Uh,
do anything today?
um, honestly, I watched Hamilton again.
Oh, wow. Is that your fourth time now?
It was, yeah, it would be my fourth time. I love it. I love the like each. I feel like each time I watch it, like I'm focusing on a different thing. Like
Mm.
this time around, I was focusing on the choreography, and I didn't realize how like even like the dancing itself is detailed. I don't know if you can hear my dogs barking.
Nope.
They yeah, but yeah, I watched I love Hamilton. I could always talk about Hamilton.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like that movie, like you could realize something about it each time you watch it over again, like something new.
yeah, I heard of this one guy in an interview saying that he had to watch it like 8 or 9 times to catch things that he didn't see or catch things that he didn't notice in the other 8 times that he saw it. I was like, that might be me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd probably be me too.
Yeah, because then we all a bunch of us watched it together a couple weeks ago, and it was Mahea's first time watching it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, what did you think about it? Like when you watched it the first time?
Yeah, honestly, it's really interesting when, because like I feel like if I was learning like the history of that, but not in a musical, honestly, I'd be bored out of my mind. Like whenever
Hmm.
I see a seriously, I'm like, oh yeah, not too interested. But then with it being like a musical and dancing too in different genres, like is really cool, and I think it's more engaging. So I was able to really get into it more. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's still
Yeah.
yeah, I still want to listen to the songs more and memorize a few of them. I forget what was the one that I really liked. Oh, something about writing.
Oh, nonstop.
I think so. Yeah, how did it
Right,
go?
you're right. When you're running out of time.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like I think that's the end of the first act. So it's like usually it's supposed to be like a big number.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I like that like in the play they use like the same lines from different songs and
Oh
you'll
yeah,
he'll use the same lines in like 5 other songs.
yeah.
Um, I watched this video on YouTube about that this guy was talking about like that the idea of motifs, which is like repetitive, um, repeating lines, symbols, um, and it was really interesting. He was talking about how like when you hear a line, you'll attach certain emotions to that line at the time that
Mhm.
it's being sung or whatever. And so when you hear it again, it brings back those emotions, but you're adding like other
Mm.
emotions, like according to that new
Like,
scene.
yeah,
And like
interesting.
it's
That's called a
just
motif,
motif.
or
Motif is yeah, when anything that gets repeated in a an art.
mm.
So it could be a color, a shape, a line, words, phrases.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know it could be applied to other types of art too. I've only really heard it like that term being used in songs, but yeah, I didn't know it could be used in like paintings and other
Yeah.
forms too.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like with Hamilton, I just love it because it's just like I like the idea that it's like the whole thing is just song and like just one song to the next song to the next song.
Yeah, and I think the thing too, like, because most of it's kind of like hip hop and rap, and obviously, like back in that actual time, you know, they didn't really have that kind of music. So I think learning and seeing it in that way of like through rap and hip hop was really cool to see. It's like really catchy
Mm-hmm.
too and impressive.
Yeah, it made it look contemporary, or it
Mm.
made it feel contemporary.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, like it's from the past, but it's still like current and present and new in no sense. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, and like the idea that I like the um one thing like I like because like I used to be on TikTok. I'm not so much on it nowadays, but there's a lot of like theories, like fan theories that people came up with that makes it even more interesting when it makes me go back and watch it again, like certain scenes. Like there's this one theory I saw online that was saying that like um the son Philip, he was 19 when he had died,
Mhm.
but or when you go through the songs of all the songs that he was alive for, there was a total of 19 songs that from
Oh,
the day that he was born to the day that he died. In the play, there's 19 songs in
wow,
between that,
19.
and he died at 19. I was like, oh, that's... So I
Okay.
don't know if that was intentional.
Yeah, maybe little details they snuck in there.
Yeah. And then like I think they tried applying it to Alexander Hamilton too. Like there's technically 47 songs in the whole play, and in historically he died at age 47.
Wow. The number of songs to their age of when they lived up to.
Yeah. So I thought that theory was interesting.
Mm.
Um, there's other ones. There's a character, Ariana DeBois, who was one of that's the name of the actress.
Hmm.
She was one of like the dancers, like in the ensemble, like background singers and stuff. But she was also nicknamed the Bullet. So there are scenes where like she would be the one grabbing the bullet when a gun is
Oh
fired and like
yeah, I
carrying it
remember.
across the sea.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then they say that she was
the
the first
bullet.
person to, yeah, they said she was the first person to die on set on stage. I don't know if you remember, there was a scene where like she like a British soldier comes up behind her and
Mm.
does that
Yeah.
thing. So she's the first person to die, and then they're saying that like she becomes like the symbol of death throughout the play, like for the rest of the play. So she's the one carrying the bullet. Um, her and John Lawrence, the friend of Hamilton that died.
Yeah.
They were like handshaking, right? And it was like shaking hands with death, and then he ended up being the next person to die shortly
Oh,
after that.
that would make
And she
sense.
was, yeah, and then she was also seen when she was flirting with the son, Hamilton's son,
Uh-huh.
and it's like flirting with death, and then he ended up dying right after. So
Ooh.
she was like this like symbol of death. And like even in the final scene when Hamilton dies, she's the one that carries the bullet across the stage.
Mm.
So I was like, oh my god, this
Wow.
sounds...
The amount of like time I think you need to really analyze the movie to catch that.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there's people that are watching it like a million times to
Yeah,
catch
they're
those.
like, oh, this girl, like, yeah, and like what they came up with the theory that she symbolizes death, which makes sense with what they like explained.
The context. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
you gotta like pay attention. That's the thing. Like, there's like so many little things that like you have to like really pay attention to.
Yeah.
but when you catch them, it's like it just makes the play that much more like complex.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think with things like that, it's always good to watch it not only once, but more than that. Then you can really focus, like what you said, how you watched it again, and then you kind of focus more on the choreo that time, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and like when I see all these like fan theories, it makes me want to go back and like catch that myself.
Mm.
Or like someone will bring something up and I'm like, oh my god, that's so like
Yeah. You
it's
go
such
back
a
to that
smart.
part yourself, and you're like, oh, it's just
I
like what
see.
they said. Yeah, because you couldn't believe. It was like, what? I gotta see it myself.
Yeah, that's why like with the song like 19 with Phillips, I actually went back and counted the songs and I was like, oh my god, there is 19.
It's true.
It's like,
They're
bro.
not lying.
Yeah. And just like how like accurate it is to historically, I think the wife deserved better. Eliza, like she gets
Yeah.
cheated on and then like,
Yeah, I don't know
she deserved that.
why Hamilton, like, what was the chick's name, the one that he got together with
Mariah
Kardashian?
Reynolds.
Yeah, like and wait, was his son already born by then, or
Yeah.
he was?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, sir,
Someone.
where are your priorities? You just
Well,
got
so
caught up.
I think what had happened was that the girl's Mariah Reynolds' husband, James Reynolds, I think they're saying that like the two of them actually conspired, like it was a plan thing.
Oh.
Like he in the song where they're talking about the publication of the affair,
Uh-huh.
it was saying that like he had a torrid affair with the wife of James Reynolds and with his knowing consent, like with the husband's knowing consent. Like it was they were saying that it's a planned thing to get Hamilton to pay for the, you know, like bribe him kind of or
Yeah.
blackmail him. So
And he fell
um
for it.
yeah. But then I was also saying that Mariah Reynolds got like there's a big backlash on her end, like because of the affair.
Mm.
But she was just like she was only 15, I think. I saw somewhere.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like she has no control. I think she was just following the husband's like
Yeah.
plan. Although I don't know. I didn't really look into it, but she's like not as bad of a person as it's like she seems in the play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like someone was saying that like there's a line that the wife sings, the Eliza sings, where he was saying or she was saying I'm trying to remember the lyrics. She was like, you published the letter she wrote you. Oh, wait, what was it? There's a line where she says, in clearing your name, you have ruined our lives. Because he published it so that he can clear his name from like people were accusing him of embezzlement.
Yeah.
And so he showed this affair. He's like, oh no, I'm not embezzling money. I just had this affair. And that's like, but by doing that, he cleared his name, but it ruined, like at first people thought that what she meant by ruin our lives is in ruin hers and Hamilton's life, like their marriage
Yeah.
and stuff.
Not like
But someone,
everyone in general.
yeah, but someone was saying that like, or one of the theories was saying that like, maybe she wasn't referring to her and Hamilton's life, but her and Mariah's life, the girl that he had the affair with,
Mm.
because they both got like backlash because of him clearing his name. They both suffered,
Yeah.
and I was like,
That
that's
could
even
be.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, honestly, like, I remember when I saw that part, like when Eliza like found out that he had the affair, like I thought she was like her reaction was gonna be like, or she'd be like depressed and like really sad. But I was really surprised when she kind of was like okay, like I mean, she wasn't okay, but then like she wasn't like super down, but she was just like, you know what, forget this guy, I'm just gonna move on. But then of course
yeah,
in the end or she forgave him and they got back.
yeah. I mean, the death of their son.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the part in that song where they're like forgiveness, and this like everyone's sad. It's like a Grace that's I I know all the lyrics and I sing the songs, but recalling them right now is just not coming to me. Um, there's a grace too powerful to name, and it's like forgiveness. I was like, oh, that's so true. Like the fact that like forgiveness is that's actually a really deep concept, I think.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I was upset with Hamilton. I think Eliza deserved better. But then like in the end, she's the one that like kept his story going. Like
Yeah.
I think the only reason why we know about Alexander Hamilton was because of all the effort she made in making sure his story was told.
Yeah, true. Like really she could have not like done that if she wanted to, but she did. Like she a real one.
Yeah, and then like yeah, they're saying that I looked it up. Like she lives like way past everyone else. She like the place said she lives like 50 more years, and like the
Yeah.
whole time is just her like prolonging her husband's legacy, which is the thing that he was obsessed about, was legacy. Um, like leaving something behind after he's gone, and she's the one that made that happen.
Yeah.
And there's like in that very last song, there's a part where she sings like, "Oh, I speak out against slavery. You could have done so much more." And like right before that, she sings, "I raise funds for the DC for the Washington Monument." And like Washington's standing behind her, singing like, "She tells my story." And then she's like, "I speak out against slavery." And then like someone brought up that like when you look at him in the back, when she says slavery, he looks at her and he hangs his head in shame because he didn't fight for slavery. He had slaves,
Mm.
and like he's
Hamilton.
realizing, huh?
Hamilton? Or
Washington, George
oh,
Washington.
Washington.
Like he had slaves, and so when she says, "I speak out against slavery," he's like realizing like his mistakes and realizing
Mm.
that he didn't fight too much against slavery. He
Yeah.
had slaves, so he like hangs his head in shame. And like someone noticed that and pointed that out online too, and I was like, "How are you guys noticing all
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
things?"
it's cool that there's like let's say there's someone like a main person who's singing that song, and then like she meant or that person mentioned something that relates to one of the characters and they're just like in the background, but they still put in the detail for that character to like act or react to that line, like yeah,
Mhm.
Washington from that. So yeah, super detailed. They really thought everything through.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't know. There's so much things to talk about Hamilton, but yeah, that's what I did today. I watched that earlier.
Yeah,
I actually watched it over the last couple of days because it's so long. I don't have 3 hours to
one
spend
sitting.
like watching and sitting. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I broke it up in like 3 days.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the song, the nonstop songs like keeps like it's like stuck in the back of my head. I think I'm gonna listen to it after this.
Yes. No, I think my mom's getting sick of me already because I'm always singing like some song from there.
Yeah.
I have like different songs from like throughout the day. I'll just be singing different songs. I
Yeah.
am
It'd
not
be fun
gonna.
to like learn one of the raps. Like I remember when I was watching that, like when we were together, I was just like, how funny would it be if you just started like rapping or singing that to a person who doesn't even like know about the movie? You're like having to like,
Yeah.
what kind of song are you listening
Yeah. I'm taking this horse for the fence.
to? Yeah.
Yeah. How long have we been talking? I don't even know what time it is, or how long have we been going?
I
Do
also
you have
don't
the time on? Huh?
I do not know either.
Um. Yeah, I don't even know. Well, I guess we can end it here. I think we've been talking for some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our podcast. Stay tuned for next week. This will be up probably Wednesday morning, and then let's join in next week. Okay. Bye.